The girl in the shadows. The rain was falling hard. The streets were empty. Only the sound of water hitting the ground could be heard. Jaden pulled his jacket tighter and walked faster. It was late, and he just wanted to reach home. He took a short cut through the alley. It was dark and cold. His shoes made soft splashes in the puddles. Then he heard it, a whisper. "Help. Please." He stopped. He looked around. No one was there. Again, the whisper came, a little louder. "I need help." Jaden's heart beat faster. He was not the kind of person who believed in ghosts, but this didn't feel normal. He looked toward the shadows near the wall. There, under a broken streetlight, he saw her. A girl. She was sitting. On the ground, knees pulled to her chest. Her long silver hair was wet from the rain. Her skin was pale, too pale. Her clothes were strange, like they were from another world. Jaden slowly stepped closer. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl lifted her head. Her eyes glowed a little, even in the dark. She looked tired. Her lips were dry, and she spoke in a weak voice. "Blood. Please. I need blood." Jaden froze. "What did you say?" he asked, his voice shaking. The girl reached out her hand. "Just a little, please. I can't survive without it." Jaden stepped back. Was she crazy? Was this some kind of joke? But then she disappeared. In front of his eyes, she turned into smoke and vanished. Jaden stood there in shock. What just happened? He looked around. No one was there. The girl, the voice, the glowing eyes, all gone. He ran home. He didn't stop until he reached his apartment. Inside, he locked the door and turned on all the lights. His heart was still racing. Maybe he was just tired. Maybe his mind was playing tricks. He sat down and tried to calm himself. A few hours passed. The rain stopped. Jaden made some tea and sat near the window. He couldn't stop thinking about her. That girl. Her voice was still in his head. Then, something strange happened again. The lights flickered. Jaden looked up. A cold wind blew inside the room, but the windows were shut. He turned around, and there she was, standing in his living room, the same girl from the alley. Jaden jumped up. "How did you get in?" She looked at him, her body weak, her legs shaking. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean to scare you. I have no one else." Jaden couldn't move. His mind was screaming, but something in her eyes made him stop. They were not evil. They were full of pain and fear. "Who are you?" he asked softly. The girl slowly sat down on the floor. "My name is Alara. I'm not from here. I came from far away. Another planet." Jaden stared at her, thinking she had lost her mind. "You're saying you're an alien?" She nodded. "Yes, but I'm not here to harm anyone. My ship crashed. I've been hiding. My kind. We need blood to live. Not to kill, just to survive." Jaden sat down across from her. "Then why come to me?" "Because," she said, her voice almost a whisper, "your blood. It feels different, warm, bright like sunlight." Jaden was silent. He didn't believe in aliens. Or vampires. But she didn't look like she was lying. She looked desperate. "So what do you want?" he asked. She looked into his eyes. "Just a few drops, that's all. If you give me that, I'll leave. I'll never bother you again." Jaden thought for a moment. This was crazy. But somehow deep inside he felt something strange. Like he was meant to meet her. He walked to the kitchen and took a small needle from his first aid box. He pricked his finger. A single drop of blood formed. He held it out. Ilara's eyes widened. She slowly reached forward and touched the drop with her finger. Then she placed it on her tongue. The moment she did, her whole body lit up. Her skin became less pale. Her eyes sparkled. She gasped, like someone who had taken their first breath after drowning. Jaden watched in silence. Then she looked at him, shocked. Your blood, it's not normal, you're not just human. Jaden frowned. What do you mean? Before she could answer, a strange sound came from outside. A soft hum, like something flying above the building. Ilara's face turned pale again. They found me. We have to go. Jaden stood frozen. Who? Ilara grabbed his hand. Her touch was cold but strong. I'll explain later. But if you stay here, you'll die too. The screen cuts to black. Her true form. The night was no longer silent. A deep humming sound filled the air, like something alive was circling above the building. Jaden and Ilara stood in the middle of the room. Rain tapped the window softly, but inside it felt like time had stopped. Jaden looked up. What is that sound? Ilara pulled him away from the window. They found me. We have to move. Jaden didn't understand what she meant, but the fear in her eyes was real, and whatever they were, he didn't want to meet them. He grabbed his coat. Where do we go? Ilara closed her eyes and touched the wall with her hand. A glowing pattern appeared under her fingers, a strange shape made of light. The wall shimmered and opened. Jaden's eyes widened. How did you... Later, she whispered. Run. They stepped into a hidden passage. As the wall closed behind them, Jaden heard the ceiling above crack. Someone had landed on the roof. They ran through an old underground tunnel, dark and cold. Only the soft blue glow from Ilara's hands lit the way. Jaden kept looking at her. Her face was changing, slowly. Her pale skin now had faint glowing lines like markings under the surface. Her hair floated slightly, like it didn't obey gravity. Her eyes, once tired, were now sharp, alien. She saw him staring. I told you, she said. I'm not from here. Jaden's breath was heavy. What are you exactly? Ilara stopped. She looked at him carefully as if deciding whether to tell him the truth. My kind are called Therians. We come from a dying planet. Our bodies need blood, but not in the way your stories say. It's not about hunger, it's about energy, memory, survival. Jaden blinked. So you're a vampire alien? She almost smiled. If that helps you understand, yes. But there's more. Much more. Suddenly the ground shook. A loud screech echoed from behind. Something was chasing them in the tunnel. Ilara grabbed Jaden's hand again. We're not safe here. They finally reached an old subway station, long forgotten by the city. It was quiet. For now. Jaden sat down on a bench, breathing hard. His heart wouldn't stop pounding. You said my blood is different, he said. What did you mean? Ilara looked at him with calm but serious eyes. When I tasted your blood, I felt heat, light, like the sun. Human blood doesn't do that. Only one other kind does. Jaden frowned. Which kind? Ours, she whispered. Therian blood. But yours is even stronger. Jaden shook his head. That's not possible. I'm human. Ilara slowly stepped closer. She placed her fingers gently on his temple. Let me show you. And then, it all came rushing back. Flashes. Jaden saw himself, younger, in a cold lab, scientists around him, machines, wires in his arms, voices. Subject 13 shows rapid recovery, even after full blood loss. His cells are adapting, merging. We added Therian DNA. The alien girl didn't survive, but the boy, he lived. Jaden gasped and pulled away. He fell to his knees. What was that? Ilara's voice was soft now. You were part of something called the Project. A human experiment. They tried to mix Therian DNA with human blood. You were the only success. Jaden's hands shook. He felt like his whole life had been a lie. Why don't I remember any of this? They wiped your memory, she said. They wanted you to live a normal life. Until they needed you. Jaden looked at her. Who are they? Before Alara could answer, a loud blast shook the station. A voice echoed through the tunnels, deep, robotic, not human. "We know you are here, Alara. Return the hybrid, or we take you both." Jaden and Alara froze. She whispered, "That's not a machine. That's a seeker." Jaden stood up. "What's a seeker?" "A hunter, sent by the elders of my world. They were watching this planet. When I escaped the lab, they came for me. But now they know about you too." Jaden looked toward the dark tunnel where the sound came from. He didn't know what was out there, but he knew one thing: he didn't want to die in this station. "How do we fight them?" Ilara's eyes glowed brighter. Her voice became steady, stronger. "With your blood and my power, we might have a chance." Suddenly, the ground cracked, open. A metal creature dropped from the ceiling 8 feet tall with red glowing eyes and silver arms shaped like blades. Jaden backed away. Ilara stood in front of him. "Stay behind me," she said. She raised her hand. A beam of blue light shot forward. The creature blocked it but staggered back. The battle had begun. As energy blasts lit up the tunnel, Jaden realized something. This was not just about Alara. He was part of something much bigger, something that could change both their worlds forever. Blood bond smoke filled the tunnel. Sparks danced in the air. The creature, half machine, half alien, stood at the other end, slowly repairing itself. Its red eyes locked onto Alara and Jaden like a predator studying prey. Alara was shaking, not from fear but from using too much energy. Her attack had slowed the creature but not stopped it. Jaden could see she was in pain. "You can't fight it alone," he said. She looked at him. "Your blood. It can give me more power, but it's dangerous." Jaden didn't move. "Then take it." Ilara hesitated. "Once the bond is formed, we'll be connected. Your pain, your thoughts. I'll feel everything. Are you ready for that?" Jaden nodded. "Do it," he said. She moved closer, her fingers gently touching his face. Then she bit her own wrist, just slightly, letting a drop of her glowing blue blood rise to the surface. "Open your mouth," she whispered. Jaden did. She let the drop fall onto his tongue. The moment it touched him, everything changed. His body stiffened. His heart skipped a beat. His vision turned white, then black, then burst into colors he didn't know existed. He saw Alara's memories, her home planet, the fall of her people, the cruel experiments done to her, and the escape. And she saw the lonely childhood, the lab, the cold doctors, the daily injections, the fake memories. Tears ran down her face. "They used you," she whispered. "Like they used me." Jaden dropped to his knees. His skin was burning. Veins lit up under his arms, glowing faintly gold. He screamed in pain. But he didn't. "Stop her," she touched his chest. "It's done," she said. "We're bonded now." The creature roared and charged. Ilara turned, raised her hand, and summoned a new kind of energy. Richer, brighter. Jaden's blood had changed her, given her more than power. It gave her clarity. She shot a beam straight through the creature's core. It screeched, sparked, and collapsed into a pile of steaming metal. Silence. Jaden lay on the floor, breathing, hard. He was shaking. His fingers glowed at the tips. "What's happening to me?" he asked. Ilara helped him up. "Your blood is reacting. You're becoming more." Jaden looked at his hands. "Am I still human?" She looked down. "I don't know." They found a small maintenance room and locked themselves inside. Ilara made a circle of light on the floor. It hummed softly. "It will protect us for a while," she said. Jaden sat on the ground, exhausted. His heartbeat felt wrong, like two hearts were beating inside him. He looked at Ilara. "You knew something like this would happen, didn't you?" She didn't speak for a long moment, then she said, "I didn't know it would be you, but I knew there was someone. A hybrid. They called you Subject 13. The only one who survived. Jaden stared at the floor. They erased everything, even my name. It might not be real. Allure knelt beside him. You're real to me. And now to the elders, you're a threat. Jaden looked up. Why? She took a deep breath. Because your blood is not just part Therian. It's evolved. It holds something they thought impossible. Light. Jaden blinked. What does that mean? Allure stood and faced the wall. Our kind was created in darkness. We were meant to feed, to survive, not to feel. But your blood holds life. Creation. It can heal. Or destroy. Jaden felt a chill. And now they want me. Yes, she said. They want to drain you. Take the power and use it to control every world, including this one. He stood up slowly. Then we have to stop them. Allure turned, surprised. You don't even know what you are yet. Jaden nodded. But maybe it's time I find out. That night, while Allure rested, Jaden explored the station. His senses were sharper. He could hear things. Pipes shifting, water dripping far away, even footsteps of rats across broken tiles. His hands glowed slightly in the dark. He didn't feel afraid anymore. Then he found a door. Metal. Sealed. On it was a symbol, a circle, with 13 lines around it. Subject 13. His number. He touched it. The door clicked open. Inside was a small lab. Old, dusty, forgotten, but still working. Screens lit up. Files appeared. He saw videos, himself as a boy being trained, being tested, being called the key. One voice stood out, a woman. We didn't create him, she said. We unlocked him. Another screen showed Allure's image. And she's the match. Together they could awaken the source. Jaden stepped back. What source? Before he could watch more, the floor shook again. Allure burst into the room. They're here, she said. More seekers? She shook her head. No. Something worse. A warden. Jaden felt his blood heat up. His hands lit brighter. Then let's see what this blood can really do. Hunters arrive. The lights in the old lab flickered. Dust floated in the air like tiny stars, silent and untouched for years. But that silence was broken now. Heavy footsteps echoed in the tunnel outside. Not fast, not angry, patient, hunting. Jaden stood still, his glowing hands clenched. Allure stood beside him, her body tense, eyes locked on the door. You said a warden is coming, Jaden whispered. Allure nodded, her voice low. Yes. Not a soldier, not a machine. Something worse. Wardens were once Therian kings. After the fall of our home, they were changed, rebuilt, fused with dark technology. They're no longer alive, or dead. Jaden felt the air get colder. Monitors around them blinked and turned off one by one. The lab lights shut down. The door creaked as if it was afraid too. Then came the voice. Deep, metallic, echoing inside their skulls, not just their ears. Subject 13. Hybrid born of betrayal, surrender. The girl has served her purpose. Allure took a step forward. You won't take him. The voice didn't reply, but the footsteps came closer. Slow. Sure. Jaden grabbed a metal rod from a nearby table. I'm not ready to fight something like this. Allure touched his shoulder. Your blood remembers. Let it guide you. Jaden's veins lit up again, golden this time. More controlled, more focused. He didn't understand it fully yet, but something was waking inside him. Something old. The door to the lab exploded inward. The warden stepped through. It was nearly 9 feet tall. Its armor looked grown, not built, black with shifting silver lines that moved like veins under its skin, no eyes. Just a faceplate carved with Therian symbols burning red. Jaden felt his knees weaken. The warden raised one arm, 5 blades extended from its fingers, humming with dark energy. Then it spoke again. You are not chosen. You are not worthy. Jaden raised the rod. Maybe not. But I'm still here. The warden moved like lightning. The fight was brutal. Alara leapt forward first, using speed and light to distract it. Jaden moved behind, trying to find an opening. But the warden adapted too fast. It blocked, struck, dodged, and learned. Jaden tried to attack, but the metal rod melted in his hand. Use your energy, Alara shouted. I don't know how, he yelled back. The warden blasted Alara across the room. She hit the wall hard and dropped to the floor. Jaden ran to her. Are you okay? Her lip was bleeding. She smiled anyway. We need more than just power. We need to fight as one. Jaden nodded. He took her hand. And something incredible happened. Their bodies began to glow. Together. Her blue, his gold emerging. A shockwave pushed the warden back a step. Its faceplate cracked slightly. For the first time, it reacted. Blood bond complete, it said. Threat level. Upgraded. Jaden smiled, just a little. Good. They stood, together. Jaden felt energy rushing through him, lightning in his bones. He raised his hand. Golden sparks formed a blade of light in the air, solid and pulsing. He charged. Alara moved beside him, her hands forming orbs of plasma. Together they attacked with speed the warden hadn't seen before. Strike after strike, blow after blow. Jaden slashed deep into the armor. Alara followed, blasting into the wound with pure energy. The warden fell to one knee. This changes nothing, it said. The council is coming. Jaden stood over it, blood glowing in his eyes now. Then we'll be ready. He drove the light blade into the warden's core, a blinding flash, a deep scream, then silence. The warden collapsed, smoke rising from its broken armor. Jaden fell to the ground, panting. His body was burning, but it wasn't pain. It was power. Alara knelt beside him, smiling through her exhaustion. You're stronger than I thought, she said softly. So are you, he replied. Then they both looked at the warden's remains. Something was blinking inside the chest. A signal. It sent a message, Alara whispered. They know what you are now. Jaden stood, his legs shaking. Then they'll come. Alara nodded. Not just the elders, not just seekers or wardens, but the High One. The maker of the project. The one who started it all. Jaden turned to her. Who? She looked into his eyes. Your creator. Jaden's heart skipped. You mean my real father? Alara didn't answer, but her silence said everything. Somewhere far above Earth, in deep orbit, a ship moved. Inside, a tall figure stood in front of a massive screen, watching the transmission from the warden's final moments. The figure smiled. The hybrid awakens. He turned to his commanders. Prepare the others, begin the next phase, bring me my son. The hidden lab. The stars above Earth were calm, but war was already moving below them. Jaden and Alara stood on the edge of an old mountain trail. The ruins of an ancient military base lay ahead, half buried in rocks, forgotten by history, erased. From maps, this place? Alara whispered. I've seen it in your memories. Jaden nodded, staring at the twisted steel gates. This is where it began, where they changed me. They walked inside slowly. The air was cold and still, like the entire world had held its breath. Metal walls rusted. Broken screens blinked randomly. Silent cameras, still active, watched them. Jaden felt something calling him deeper into the shadows. His blood pulsed. Not with fear, but with something stronger. Memory. As they reached the main lab chamber, Jaden froze. He saw a table. Restraints. Needles. Machines still humming softly like they were waiting for him. Then, a screen lit up on its own. A hologram appeared. An old scientist, pale and sharp-eyed. He looked tired, like a man carrying the weight of 1,000 sins. If you are seeing this, Subject 13, then you survived. Jaden's breath caught in his throat. You were the only one. We tested on 12 before you. All failed. But you adapted. not just to Therian DNA, but to something even older. Ilara stepped closer. Older? The hologram continued. We thought we were combining human and Therian blood, but your mother was not just human. She carried something else, a forgotten gene, from the first travelers. Jaden blinked. What does that mean? You are not half human, half Therian. You are 1/3 something far more powerful, something even the elders fear. The message ended. Jaden stood in silence. Ilara touched his hand. Your blood is a key, but not to war, to something ancient, something buried. Then behind them, a door opened with a loud hiss. A figure stood in the doorway, tall, armored, but not a soldier, not an enemy, a human, or, close to it. His face was older, worn, but his eyes, Jaden's eyes, stared back at him. So, you made it, the man said. Jaden raised his glowing hand. Who are you? The man stepped forward. I'm the reason you exist. Ilara moved between them. He's the one who started the project. The man nodded. I had to. Earth was dying. The council lied to everyone, but you, Jaden, you were our last hope. Jaden's voice shook. You're lying. No, the man said. I'm your father. The world seemed to freeze. Jaden took a step back. That's not possible. The man pulled a chain from around his neck. A small device. He pressed it. A video began to play. An old memory. A woman's voice. Gentle. Loving. Jaden, my little light. If you're hearing this, it means I'm gone. But your father, he tried to protect you. Jaden dropped to his knees. The man came closer. They wanted to create a weapon. I wanted to create a bridge, a being who could unite species, heal galaxies, end war. Ilara stared. But then why the blood, the pain? Because peace doesn't come without sacrifice, he said. You were never meant to fight. You were meant to awaken the source. Jaden looked up. What is the source? The man looked toward the mountains. An ancient core, buried deep beneath this base. Older than the Therians, it holds life and death. Ilara's eyes widened. It's real? I thought it was a myth. The man nodded. And your bond with Jaden just activated it. Suddenly, the entire base began to shake. Below them, deep underground, something awoke. A pulse of energy shot upward, bright, golden, and ancient. Jaden felt it in his chest. His body responded without thinking. His veins lit up again. He could hear voices, not human, not Therian. Something else, something watching. The mountain cracked open slightly. A light poured out. Ilara stepped back. This is too fast. He's not ready. Jaden stood, breathing heavily. Maybe I am. Then the base's warning lights blinked red. Another signal. Ships. Coming through the sky. Hundreds. The council was arriving. Ilara looked to the stars. They're bringing everything. Jaden turned to his father. What do I do? The man looked into his eyes. You choose, he said. Do you fight them? Or awaken something they can never control? Jaden closed his fists. Why not both? The wind roared outside. The council's ships blocked the sky. Inside the mountain, ancient power rose. Jaden and Ilara stood at the edge of the core. Below them, the source began to open its eyes. Betrayal and truth. The sky was broken. Hundreds of our council warships hovered above the mountains. Dark, massive, and silent, they filled the clouds like shadows swallowing light. Their engines made no noise, but the air hummed with dread. Below, the source had awakened. Jaden stood at the edge, of a massive chasm inside the mountain, where the ground had cracked open to reveal something beyond understanding. A living heart of energy pulsed beneath the earth, glowing golden and white, ancient and beautiful. He could feel it in his bones, in his blood. It was alive, and it was waiting for him. Alara stepped beside him, eyes wide. This is the core of everything, all life, all memory. This is the source our kind feared. Jaden looked at her. And now it's listening to me. They were not alone. Jaden's father stood a few feet behind, watching the sky darken. The council has come to take it, and they'll destroy anything in their path. Jaden asked, "How do we stop them?" His father turned to him. "We can't. Not through war. But we can seal the source before they reach it. Your blood, your bond with Alara, is the key. Together, you can lock it away for 1,000 years." Jaden looked down at the energy below. "What if I don't want to seal it?" His father frowned. "What do you mean?" Jaden turned. "What if I want to use it to change things, end the war, forever?" The older man's face darkened. "That power is too great. No one should have it. Not even you." Jaden stared at him. "But you made me for this." "I made you to protect it," he said coldly, "not to become it." A pause, and in that moment something shifted. Alara stepped away from Jaden slowly. "You knew," she whispered to his father. "You always knew he wouldn't just protect it, he would merge with it." Jaden looked at her, confused. "What are you talking about?" Ilara's hands trembled. "Jaden, if you bond fully with the source, your body won't survive. You'll become something else, not human, not Therian, something new." Jaden's heart dropped. "Why didn't you tell me?" Ilara looked down. "Because I hoped it wouldn't come to this." Then a sudden noise. A ship landed near the base entrance, a small one. Silent. Ilara's eyes widened. "That's a signal ship," she said. "It only lands if someone invited them here." Jaden turned sharply to his father. "Did you call them?" His father stayed quiet. Jaden stepped forward. "Did you?" The man raised his hands. "Listen to me. They promised peace. If we hand over the source and you, they'll leave Earth alone." Jaden's face twisted. "You betrayed us." "I saved the planet," he said, "by giving me up." Jaden shouted. "By lying about what I am?" "I didn't lie," he said softly. "I just didn't tell you everything." Jaden stepped back. His skin began to glow brighter. Gold cracks appeared on his arms, energy leaking out. Alara moved between them. "Jaden, please, don't lose control." His voice shook. "So what do I do, Alara? Save them all by dying, or fight and become something that terrifies even the gods?" Alara's eyes filled with tears. "I don't want to lose you." Jaden looked at her. "Then choose." Long silence. Then she whispered, "If I choose wrong, would you ever forgive me?" He didn't answer. And then she raised her hand and pointed it at him. Jaden's heart shattered. "Ilara, I'm sorry," she whispered. "I have to protect the source." A blast of blue light struck his chest. Jaden was thrown backward, off the ledge, into the source. Ilara screamed. As the light swallowed him, his body glowed white, gold, then nothing. Silence. She fell to her knees. His father looked at her in disbelief. "What have you done?" Ilara whispered. "What I had to." But inside the source, something stirred. Memories. Stars. Time. Jaden was not dead. He was changing. He saw everything, the beginning of worlds, the death of galaxies, the truth behind the Therians, and the origin of the source. It wasn't just energy. It was a voice. Will. And it chose him. Ilara stood alone now above the quiet pit. The ships had paused in the sky, waiting. Then, a shockwave exploded from the source. Not fire, not destruction. Light. Pure golden light. It spread through the sky, blinding the ships, and when it faded, Jaden stood there, floating, changed. His eyes burned like stars, his voice echoed across the air. "You tried to betray me." Ilara stepped back. "Jaden, I remember everything now. I know who I am, and I know what must be done." He looked up at the council. Flee. His golden energy pulsed once and half the sky vanished. The war had just begun. The human who changed everything, the world held its breath. Above the mountains, the sky had been torn apart. Half of the council fleet was gone, erased by one pulse of golden energy. Below, Jaden hovered above the source. He was no longer the boy who had run through back alleys, no longer Subject 13, no longer just human. He was something more, flesh and light, memory and power. The source lived within him now, and with it came a flood of knowledge, galactic histories, ancient wars, lost civilizations, the truth behind everything. Jaden looked down at Ilara. She stood motionless, unable to speak. Tears ran down her face. She had betrayed him, and yet she had done it out of love. The source whispered to Jaden, "Judge her. Erase her." She broke the bond, but Jaden whispered back, "No," because he remembered her fear, her loyalty, her pain. He saw the future she saw, him dying, used by others, devoured by power. She didn't betray him to destroy him. She betrayed him to save him. Jaden landed slowly on the cracked stone platform. His feet touched the ground, but he didn't feel gravity anymore. His presence bent space. His shadow fell in 3 directions at once. Ilara dropped to her knees. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. "You did," Jaden said softly. "But something else found me." He looked at her. For a moment he was silent. Then he reached out and lifted her to her feet. "I'm still me," he said, "but I'm not just me anymore." Ilara nodded slowly. "What will you do now?" Jaden looked up at the council ships, still holding position, too afraid to attack again. "They came for a weapon," he said. "I'll give them a warning." Instead, he raised his hand. Time slowed. The ships above began to crack, not from energy, but from truth. Their pilots saw visions, memories not their own, the lives they'd taken, the futures they would destroy. The fleets began to turn away. One by one, they retreated, all except one. A final command ship. From inside, a voice reached out across the sky. "Jaden, this is the High Elder of the Council. You are not a god. You are a mistake. We will return. We will erase you." Jaden's eyes flashed. He spoke, not in words, but in truth. "Then I'll be waiting." He sent no beam, no fire, just a ripple, and the ship imploded silently, as if it had never existed. The sky cleared. The source dimmed, returning to sleep. Jaden turned to Ilara and his father, who stood in silence. "It's over?" Ilara asked. Jaden shook his head. "No, it's just beginning." His father stepped forward. "You've become what no one expected. Not a weapon, but a balance." Jaden looked at him. "I don't know what I am." "You're the first," the old man said, "and others will come." Ilara touched Jaden's hand. "Will you stay? On Earth?" Jaden looked around at the mountains, the sky, the planet that once rejected him and now feared him. "I can't," he said. "I've changed too much. I feel every life now. Not just here, across galaxies. There's pain out there. Darkness." He looked into the stars. "And I can do something about it." A new ship descended, smooth and silver, built not by man, Northarian. It responded to Jaden's presence. It belonged to him now. He stepped toward it. Ilara followed. "Are you sure?" she asked. Jaden smiled gently. "Come with me." She hesitated, then nodded. Together, they stepped into the ship. As the door closed, Jaden turned back one last time. The earth below was still healing, but it was no longer alone. Above them, the stars shifted. New paths opened. Jaden wasn't just a hybrid, not a savior, not a weapon. He was the first of something new. A human source, a living force of will, a protector of worlds, a destroyer of tyrants. And as legends spread across galaxies, one name echoed. On every planet in every language, Jaden, the human who changed everything.